Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Power Monday, where we demystify the fact that Mondays are boring days, especially Monday mornings. Today we are in February. Welcome to the month of love. This is the first Monday of February, and it has gone very fast. 2026 is almost coming to an end. We meet virtually every single Monday, except when it is a public holiday in Kenya. Not only do we meet virtually, but we meet physically every quarter, where we term it as meet and greet, but we culminate it with a dinner in the last quarter. So you are all welcome, and the itinerary has all been arranged in the group. If you are not in the group, please join. We discuss diverse personal development topics, and I always say, who knows, you could make your million from this forum. And here is where we meet, and you could meet your mentor, your mentee, your employer, your employee. Who knows, your chance could be here. I am going to do a poll today titled In Days. In days that dawn with gentle light, we lift our hopes from the fading night. The world moves on, the clock still plays, we gather strength and we face the day because it's just a day. Some days arrive with heavy rains, with quiet rooms and muted pain, yet we still rise, though hearts feel wailed. We walk on through, we held on by the shade because it's just a day and it goes by. In days of laughter that are swift and bright, we enjoy and so free from morning to night. We chase the sun, we laugh, we stay, we cool because it's the day, it's in days. There are days that are shaped by work and strain. There are days that are tiresome. Our hands are restless. Our brains are tired. We step and make another step. It's a steady ground because it's a day we live to make and build tomorrow. There are days that test our fragile will when progress seems unbearably still. We learn that showing up is just but being brave, and standing firm is how we save the day in days. Some days unfold in a gentle pace, thus others are softer with hours that are going very slowly because they're just days. We tend to heal ourselves along the way because they're just days. In other days, we experience lows, quiet cries when broken dreams before us lie. We tend to go down and make it seem like the light has dimmed because they're just days. Some days are just blur in simple themes of daily tasks that are modest dreams. We show up still because they're beautiful days. So in these days that are both rough and kind, we leave our marks on to the passing time because they are beautiful days. Like today is a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lady Noel, you are
Thank you so much, Dr. Lucita. Indeed, today is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day because God said so and because we say so, and words have power. So today is a beautiful day. Now, the speaker of the day is a frequent here on Power Monday. It's not the first time that he is speaking to us. And I think he's one of the best speakers that we have here on Power Monday. He's a friend of Power Monday. And so I call upon Mercy Akoth, who is going to introduce the guest speaker of the day.
And just as Mercy, Larry, somebody told me, I hope he will start with the poem. Anyway, I'm not suggesting anything.
Thank you, Noel. I hope I'm audible. Good morning, Power Monday, and happy new month, happy February. My mandate is simple, to just introduce the speaker, who is a frequent face in this space. Larry Liza is the gentleman who is going to speak to us today, And Larry Liza is a Kenyan-born author, leader, finance and investment expert, diplomat, renowned poet, and public speaker. For 10 years, he served as the director of the World Customs Organization, overseeing 24 countries in East and Southern Africa on secondment from the Kenya Revenue Authority, to which he resumed his duties in July 2025. He is credited with increasing the profile of the region to one of the most visible worldwide. It was under his leadership that the government of Kenya granted the WCO diplomatic privileges and immunities. Larry is a Harvard University certified specialist in leadership and management with other qualifications from different universities. He has recently authored the book Cents to Millions, already selling in the top 1% on Amazon with remarkable pre-order sales in Kenya. He's also the author of other best-selling books, including Grateful in Everything, There Has Never Been Anything False About Hope, and Monday Motivations Profound, among others, as well as host of children's books. He continues to inspire many across the country and the world with his insights on investment and wealth creation. So Team Power Monday, join me in welcoming Larry Liza to have a word with us. Karibu sana Larry.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are, because I know there are some joining us from Australia and there are some joining us from Hawaii and different places, but a majority of us that I am aware of are joining us from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm grateful to Power Monday for yet another opportunity to share insights and thoughts and from experiences that I have learned from you, from my friends and relatives, from the world, from social media, and from elsewhere. I'm also grateful to Paul Peter, who has been my friend now for 26 years. I thought we would do a almost 25 years, I think. I thought we would do a 20-year celebration or a 25-year-old, but that didn't come to pass. He had promised when we were in campus that he would sponsor something, but I haven't seen that come up. I don't want to dilute the poem that Dr. Lucita gave excellently. So next time, if I'm invited here, make sure there is no poem coming before. I keep telling Paul Peter for 20 years that it's pronounced as poem, not poem. So I was requested to talk about guarding your investment with reference to how to smell fraud and stay safe from cons. But I also want to encourage us to focus more on building our wealth and building our finances. But wealth goes beyond finances. It goes to your personal health, to your comfort, to your mental health, to the welfare of your friends and family, just to allow you to release yourself to be the person that you were ordained to be. A story is told of a man who put his son a little bit on the roof, and it wasn't a very long roof, just one floor. If you live in certain apartments, it could be on the balcony of the apartment. If you grow up where we grew up, then it could be on a grass-thatched house. And then he told the son to jump and promised to hold him before he fell. And the son was afraid. And he told the son that you jump, I will carry you, I will hold you. And the son still refused to jump. Then he lifted his hands and said, I am your father. I cannot let you go down. And so the boy got some confidence and he jumped. So when he thought his father was going to hold on to him, the father instead moved aside and he fell. The father knew very well that he wouldn't break his limbs, but he got hurt a little bit. And then the father told him, do not trust anyone, not even your father. That for me is the running call for this day. I know it's important that you trust people. I know you could be trusting your spouse, your child, your father. Many of us trust our mothers, and it is okay. But it's important for us to look and say, what if my father gets a heart attack just as I'm jumping? It means I will fall. Do I have a safe landing? What if I slip? Or what if anything happens and I fall? So many times the people who make us fail or make us fall for cons and frauds are people closest to us. And sometimes they are also being conned. And sometimes they are just doing it out of love. So my hope and prayer is that by the end of this, you'll be able to spell the word con. I know you all do, but above all, you will be able to tell that this is a con long before the money leaves your account. So I know that many of the people who get conned are usually smart people. I'm not sure how smart I am, but a few years ago, I went to a supermarket and spoke to the person who was in charge of procurement, and he told me that he was giving me an opportunity to import diaries for the following year and some notebooks. And we met in August, and he showed me what Sai is a publishing company. They make diaries as well, and others were making. He showed me companies that were making sales of 300 million a month. And he told me that this was an opportunity for us to make money. He asked for 10,000 copies of diaries and notebooks. So I went to China and did that, and imported, spent a lot of money, took some loan, and by the time and all through I kept him posted. There was nothing like IOU, because if you know business in Kenya, sometimes the belief is that biashara inakwanga hivyo. You really don't have to trust, you really don't have to have the full documentation. Unaambiwa we later tutachukua. After all, they will get a cut from it. So you don't think they would own you. They would con you. But in the end, when my goods finally came, I have shared before a story of how I lost 4 million. That is in the social space. But this was another one. I lost 4 million shillings because when the goods came, I started calling him. He said, oh, our company, you read in the media, changed leadership, our supermarket chain changed leadership, and we are no longer taking new suppliers, especially in relation to, but I told them, I'm not a new supplier, you have my books. He said, no, in relation to new products. By then it was December 30th. I have diaries of 2024, of the following year, I think it was 2024. Hey, and you have 5,000 diaries you want to sell. I put them on my status. Of course, in a day, like 10 people would buy. But the majority, normally, if you know those who deal with diaries, the majority, you will buy these diaries and notebooks long before. 2027 diaries started selling in October. And anyone I went to already told us, they told us, hey, diary zako ni mzuri sana, lakini tuko na zetu na tutakwama tukichukua zako. He, sasa ndio unaanza kusema hii diary ya 2024, can you change this 4 to 5? Can you tear this page? Kwanza hizo zimeandikwa 2024 every page. The long story is, in one of my stores here, I still have diaries za 2024. I give them to my friends. This is one of them. And I share them. And I tell them, oh, all you need is a place to write. Let it change to a notebook. And that was a huge loss for me. So sometimes get rich quick schemes normally offer very good promises, but you must make sure that you dot your T's. You cross your T's and you dot your I's. There was no pro forma invoice. There was no commitment. And for you, anytime you want to spend an amount of money, be ready to lose it if you do not have any evidence, if you don't have any documentation, and so on. So fraud is not about intelligence. It is about the timing. It is about the pressure. It is about the emotion. I really appreciate Giovanni Njenga is cleaning the kitchen. on video. I'm not complaining. I just like the fact that you are listening even through your hustle and your work. So fraud is not about intelligence. It's about the timing. It's about the pressure, and it's about emotions. One of my friends who is a doctor called me one day, and she told me that she asked if I had 30,000 shillings and she needed it immediately. I asked her, why is this so urgent? She said she was going to refund it in 2 hours, actually in 1 hour. Then I asked her, Kwani, what is it? What's the main reason you need 30,000 shillings? And she told me there is some money I have won. It is 220,000 shillings, but I need to send 110,000 shillings for me to get it back double. I could immediately smell the fraud in it. I told her, hey, my dear, do you know you are being conned? Who are these people? She said, I just got a message and so on. And I told her, no. How much have you given them? She told me, I've already sent 80,000. I need 30,000 to make it 110, and then they'll send me back the 220,000. And I told her, you know, you are a doctor. And that's why I'm saying it's not about intelligence. It depends on how these people package. Fraud usually doesn't target fools. It targets trust. It targets urgency. It targets hope. And I told her, you know what, you are being conned. And it was like a light bulb moment for her, because when she called the people and said, you guys, you are fake. What? The people insulted her. Wakamwambia, we ni mjinga sana, you know, 80,000 imeenda kwa maji. Imeenda na maji, and so on. And that's how she lost her 80,000. I told her, thank God you saved 30 more. But it was a wake-up call for her. A lot of things will happen for you, for me, that will always make you lose money, lose cash, lose your finances, lose your wealth. But there's still different tricks for you to check. You know, these days in Kiswahili we say, ati, hizi vitu zinafanyika, you know, it's like relationships. Unaoga, unarudi soko, and you continue with your life. So don't let your life go down. Do not be afraid to invest because you failed. In fact, one of my friends says that siku hizi we heal on the crime scene. Una heal kwa crime scene, unarudi soko bila kuoga, utaoshwa na mvua, utakaushwa na jua. So it's important for you to recognize such things about fraud and so on. But more often than not, do not be desperate about cash. Do not be desperate about wanting to get rich quick. Be wary about high profits, you know, things that promise you 100% returns in 3 months and so on. In the last Power Monday, I shared about how a friend came and told me about what I thought was, what I didn't know at that time was a pyramid scheme, also known as Ponzi scheme. In Kenya, we have had a couple of these. There was one by, I think, somebody called Donde. I've forgotten what the name was, and so on. Mine was called PGI. And PGI, we invested our money. She made a promise. I was very wary about it. I told her, no, I cannot do this. This is a pyramid scheme. And she told me, but look, I am making money. She could take her phone, show me her accounts. And I told her, you know what? When you get to 1 million shillings, let me know. She already had 200,000 in the system. And so she came, and 3 months later, she had gotten to 1 million shillings. And she said, you see, it's not a pyramid scheme. And what did I do? I went to Ushuru Sacco, where I belong, got a loan. I took my investments from MMF and other places. I took 4 million shillings and I put it. But before I did that, I think I took 200,000 shillings. And guess what? In a week, I had 400,000 shillings. Yani, I said, all our family problems will be over. You know, yeah, if in a week I can make 200,000 shillings, and I know these idiots, they could be conned. You know what? Let me go look for money like 4 million shillings, put it there. In like a month, I shall have gotten back my 4 million, put it back into the circle, repay the loan, and and change my life. And now let me make money from their own money. But looks like that is what they were waiting for, because many of us had been investing in it. Before long, we couldn't access the portal. We were told it was on upgrade and for deposits. And indeed, they came back out 3 days later and the upgrade was there. They said, you see, now our deposit is more efficient. We've even integrated with these. And then days later, so they encouraged us to do more deposits. And then days later, I woke up and went, and the website was down. You know, my hopes of an apartment in Dubai went, my hope of a new car went, my hope of being Jimmy Wanjigi's neighbor went down the drain, and I was in the red. It was very discouraging. So anything that makes you lack sleep, you must be very careful about it. Why? Because I would wake up in the night just to check my money grow, and I would see my money grow. I think they were in Bitcoins and so on. So it's important for you to realize that things that offer you such high promises may not really work. In average, interest rates in Kenya for many things have averaged at comfortable levels of 8% to 12% or to 18% to 16%. In the last couple of years, there are funds that have come, especially one called Mansa X. I'm not here vouching for them. And there is another one called OC Fund. Mansa X is by Faida Investment Bank. OC Fund is rather new. No. Mansa X is by SIB, Standard Investment Bank, and OC Fund is by Faida Investment Bank. The last couple of years, they have been offering about 20% give or take. I'm one of the people who have benefited from Mansa X because I looked at it, I looked through their derivatives, I looked through their books, I looked through their system. I'm one of the people who has gained from Faida Investment Bank as somebody who is really, really interested in investing. And I told a couple of friends who said 20% is so high. And so, and is not true. What I know is whether they are true or not, I may not tell you, but I have been there, like in Mansa X for 8 years now. I've been with Faida for 22 years or 26 years now. And then OC Fund came the other day and I also plugged in. And what I know from this, for instance, is they have not let me down. I think Mansa X gave us 20% or 21% last year. The reason I am saying this is not necessarily to vouch for them, but to let you know that in our circumstances and spheres today, there are instances where interest rates have stretched up to 22%. There are people who are also in business and make money. They go to China, they go to other places, and they make money. But one of the tricks you need to know with cons and con games is they usually come with very exorbitant interests and interest rates. Are they called interest rates? Not necessarily. Paul Peter, what are they called? I know it's a common word. Yeah, I think it's dividends. It's maybe
interest rates
interest
also,
or dividends. Yeah, whatever you earn, or high rates of earning.
Return.
And thank you. And it's very important for you to note, I'm not saying anything that will come with high possibilities of earnings will be too high, will be fake. But the point is, it's important and imperative for you to be cautious in everything that you invest. There are stocks in this country, in the Nairobi Stock Exchange, that have paid consistently. I think one example is Standard Investment Bank, that has paid about 13 to 15%. Government securities, for instance, when the new government came, paid up to 18%. An example that I know is a friend of mine who I have seen in this meeting. They had 2 houses. Their father died and left them with left the mom with the 2 houses. Each of those houses was getting rent of about 20,000 shillings. I might mix the maths a little bit, but the message will still be home, 20,000 shillings. And at the end of the year, they were getting 240,000 per house. But sometimes your tenants don't pay and so on. At about the same time, I just challenged her. The government securities are at 16%. And it's likely that they will go high, infrastructure bonds. Why don't you sell one house and see if you can get more? And so she talked to the mom, and the mom accepted and sold one of those houses at 15,000 shillings. At about the same time, the government securities had gone to 18%, and the mother, 15 million shillings, sorry. The mother put the entire 15 million shillings in government securities at 18%, infrastructure bonds. And it technically meant in 1 year, you earn, because they are interest-free, you earn 2.7 million. Remember, she was earning about 240,000 per year for rent. Na the guy, she was telling me, huyo Mswahili unipanga, by the end of the year, amelipa to 8 months of rent, and the other 4 will be carried forward, and so on. So can you imagine, from 240,000 per year to 2.7 million per year, which was coming to 225,000. Actually, their rent was 25,000 per month, or 20,000 per month, but now they were getting 225,000 per month. That's nearly a net of 200,000 profit per month, or 2 million, simply because of the wisdom they used, the marketing they used. They still had an extra house, and so on. I'm not saying that you go sell your houses and put them to government securities. The rates have really gone low now, but always be ready to invest in either way and whichever ways. What I would encourage all of us to do going forward is to ensure that you do not put all your eggs in one basket. Why? If it is you are interested in land, you do not need to put 100% of your investment in land. If you are interested in farming, it is in foolhardy to put all your investment is in farming. Make sure you diversify. Personally, my take is usually do not put more than 20% of your investment in one. As much as Mansa X has worked for me, Oak Fund is working for me and for other people, I wouldn't take all my wealth 100% and put it there. There are things that were genuinely affected by COVID and people lost business. So if you had put all your wealth there, then it means you'd lose all the business, all the money that you had. So it's important that you diversify your investment. One key call to usually a con game is the call to urgency. They always say, act now, act now, act now. Hii pesa inatakikana kesho. Hii pesa usipoleta leo. Hii pesa usipoleta leo, you are going to lose it. So it's important that you look at this button. I normally say that the scammers usually press 3 buttons. One of them is the urgency banner, the act now banner. So if they're like, hii pesa lazima iweke sahi ndio upate pesa, hii pesa ndio ufanye hivi hivi ndio upate pesa, you have to be very wary about such. Another thing is usually authority. They would speak from authority and they will be calling all these people, you know. If you watch Terence Creative, there is something he did, I've forgotten the name, some years ago, where he was acting as a Congolese, Siji Balange, Bane, I can't remember exactly what he was saying. It showed how these guys who do wash and so on work. And most of these people will meet you, they will be in an agency, they will be making calls that, huyu umejua anafaa kwenda kumit Mbadi sahi, na akitoka kwa Mbadi, you know this. Kuna huyu hapa, ni rafiki ya Faruk Kibet, usimuone tu hivyo. Saizo ameenda amehire Prado ya 15,000 a day in town, and that's what they are coming with for that meeting to show you how important they are. So they will smell authority. And I've known, one person said, I think Rotas in households of the real households of Kawangware, that pesa haipendi kelele. I have seen it a lot. Of course, there are a lot of people who are flashy and so on, and they have money. But I have seen pesa haipendi kelele. I go to a friend's restaurant. He sits there eating. There's some black beans. I've never known why some people enjoy that black beans. I hear it's very healthy. Yeah, I hear it's very healthy. I've forgotten the name. And I've never really liked it as a person, mainly because probably I didn't grow up with it. This mzee just goes there eating that black beans, you know, and a cup of tea and mboga and minji and mishiri. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, siakule tu chapo. And I don't think it's because he's mean, but he's eating healthy by his standards. The reason I tell you this is he dresses simply in a t-shirt and whatnot until you know about him. He owns apartments in Nairobi. He is worth billions of shillings. One day, my friend didn't have rent, and I was supporting them to pay rent, and I paid rent, and nikashtukia imeenda kwa akaunti ya huyu mtu, and I know where my friend stays. It's a building with 164 flats. Can you imagine? And so many of these con games normally come with authority. I am from State House, sijui nini. Hata saizo amesave jina Farouk Kibet. Hata they won't save it Farouk Kibet, they'll save it Farouk to show you. And then they have someone calling them from somewhere. Then anasema, oh, Farouk. Mkubwa, habari yako, you know, I would tell them, mkubwa ni Yesu, wewe ndio deputy. And then they will walk kidogo kidogo and talk and come with all these promises. So it's important that you take note of the button of urgency, you take note of the button of authority, and you take note of the button of opportunity. You have been selected to do these. Your account, these scammers are so much on the phones now. Your account has been done this. Something that will touch on you, will touch on your child. Your child has not paid school fees. Your car has not been, parking has not been paid. And you know you paid parking. You know, parking has not been paid. Click here. And you see, you quickly go and click the link. The other day, one of my friends lost a Facebook account that had hundreds of thousands of followers simply because she clicked here. She was told you are at the verge of losing your account. A message from Safaricom will always come from Safaricom, will always come from 0720, I think 000060. Safaricom will never call you with any other number. I'm not sure if Airtel is 0733000006 times, I'm not sure. But the point is, they will always come with opportunities and promises or threats. You've not paid your land rates, click here. And because you use your phone a lot of your passwords are saved and so on. So it's imperative that you look through all these to ensure that you do not lose. Be very careful where your money goes. You are better off with standard investments and general investments unless you are very sure, unless you have been tried and tested. You have to be very afraid of yourself. You have to be very afraid of the person close to you. And so there are some things that I consider core values or red flags. It's very important that you know that some of the red flags are these unstable, unstable returns, are these high level returns promising you 100% and so on. Remember, the usual markets fluctuates, but scams do not fluctuate. Many times they will tell you it is stable, you will get 100% for 6 months and so on. There is no way you will get government securities stable. There is no way your SACCO shares and savings will be stable and so on. There is always the other red flag that I've mentioned of the pressure to decide now, So it's important to know that legitimate investments normally stand the test of time. And when they stand the test of time, then you can trust them. There are new investments that come, and there's a story that is in the public domain of a company that people trusted. It was registered by the government. But what people didn't know is that this company that was registered by the government had started another branch of business that was promising high investments. And so many people went and invested on it, and they lost money. And it was because the structures had not been put by the management, and people ended up trading on the name. This is the name, but they've begun with this brand that wasn't registered, wasn't recognized. It affected them up to now, because when you look at the money market section and segment, you still see their name, but it's not the one that fell. So this name is still legit. They are doing good business, but a branch of their business really, really messed up many Kenyans who lost millions. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you do not know. So you are able to cite it. The name is in the word that I just mentioned. And so you are able to know. So what I know is that their current business works well, but this particular branch of business, so many people lose a lot. Some of these things have a lot of secrets, or they give you this, what we call secrecy requests. This is just between us. Do not tell your spouse. Do not tell what. Umejua wanawake ni wale tu, hizi ni vitu unafanya kimwanamme and so on. For some women, umejua kuna vitu zile si lazima mwanamme ajue. Kuna hii pesa yako lazima uweke kando and so on. Whether that is true or not is not my point, but the point is a lot of these scammers come with these. Another thing I notice is that they are vague in the explanation. They come with jargon, with very big words. They come with big names. They come with, unapata kampuni hata haina ofisi, but inaitwa Donald Mark International Investment, and we have so many funny schools around talking about calling themselves names like Harvard, names like Cambridge. I'm not saying there are schools that are called Cambridge in Kenya that are working fine, but you see those big names and so on. So you really have to be keen on that. Be keen on those who are offering you authority. Be keen on those who do not have a clear exit. Ask questions. The Bible says in Acts that the Bereans were more faithful, were more eager, were more inquisitive than those in Thessalonica. And they always went reading the Bible to confirm what Paul and Silas if what Paul and Silas were saying was true. So be wary, ask the right questions and so on, and you will definitely go places. The things that I have shared with you this day are in this book, Cents to Millions. And if it is okay, Paul Peter, allow me to use this opportunity to talk a little bit about this book. I wrote this book over a 10-year period. It's called its subtitle is Investment Strategies to Growing Wealth. And it doesn't just talk about that. Everything I've shared is only on 2 chapters of this particular book that has about 20 chapters or about 18 chapters. We will be launching this book on Saturday, this Saturday, 7th February 2026 at St. Andrew's PCA, Nairobi, near St. Paul's Chapel or near University Way roundabout where it intersects with Uhuru Highway. We'll talk a little bit about finances. The event is themed God and Gold, and we'll also be awarding Kenyans and honoring or rewarding Kenyans who many Kenyans selected as having made an impact in the society. My urge to you is, if you feel, is to look for for this book and many other books out there that can help you invest. The event on Saturday at St. Andrews will be starting at 2 p.m. and entry is free. So our events normally start on time. We'll be honoring a legendary musician called Mary Atieno. We'll be honoring Kestin Mbogo. We'll be having Sarah Kay in the house, Kambua, and so on. But one of the people, Paul Peter, that we are honoring is called Dr. Maxwell Okoth. A little bit about this gentleman. This is not exactly how the story was, but it gives you the picture. He finished medicine and already it meant he was a qualified doctor. And so he lived somewhere in Ruai and then got a small space. Said, of course, si mimi ni daktari, I'm now licensed to teach, to treat. And I think he got a small place and got a nurse and started treating patients. And anything that was beyond him at that time, because Ruai is heavily populated, he would refer them to Kenyatta, refer them to other government hospital, or refer them, you know, unaweza enda Mama Lucy, and he would refer them there. Unaweza afford Metropolitan, unaweza enda Kenyatta, he would refer them there. You know, can you go to Nairobi Hospital? He would refer them to larger institution. But he continued the journey of entrepreneurship. And then he, at some point, his mother retired and got a package of about 300,000 shillings. And his mother gave him 300,000 shillings. He opened a small clinic and named it Ruai Family Hospital, or RFH Health. And RFH Health by Dr. Maxwell Okoth has now grown to over 10 branches countrywide. I'm told they have one of the best specialist centers and so on. They have given people affordability. They have given people provision of healthcare. They have given people access and so on. And many of you who know RFH know the way it has been a blessing to them. But the point for us is we are honoring Dr. Maxwell for starting at empty and going where he is now. So this book talks about all that, how to diversify your investment, how to grow your wealth, how to remain committed, how to track, but it also talks about the power of giving. I am here to give you the knowledge that I have had and I've shared these over the years. So welcome on Saturday, keep time, and let's talk together. And when you can, please get the book. You just need to check Larry Liza on other fronts and on social media, and you'll get ways of how to get it. It will be in textbook center as well after the launch. May the Lord bless you and keep you. I know there is probably time for questions. I'll give it back to Paul Peter with a minute to spare.
Thank you very much, Larry. I love the stories. Of course, I've missed the poem. I thought I would ignite you, but next time we will tell Dr. Lucita to work a collab with you. And well, just to mention also that this session today is sponsored by Falcon Global Consulting Limited. They also sponsored our dinner, and so we are thankful to them. We have put their details there. Of course, other sponsors are like ICT Gurus EA Limited, that puts you online, and Live Your Dream, that hosts it and helps you in your businesses, including financial investments like this. You can always consult Live Your Dream. We have competent people to help you grow. So it's that time for question. What's the cost of the book? That's the first question I can see. And yeah, what's the cost of the book? You can mention the cost, and you've not given that till number. Maybe some people want to take advantage. You may just sell 200 pieces. We had 197 people logging in at the peak of time.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. The book is sold at 1,500, but is currently on pre-order. Is currently on a discount at 1,200. 1,200 until 7th. So on 8th, it will automatically go to 1,500. The till number is 668572. 668572. We have pickup points, collection points. We can deliver at the fee of the rider as well. And those who are joining us internationally, you can check it out on Amazon. You can also reach out on Facebook and other social spheres. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you very much. Yes, people who are asking for recording, you can check this later in the day on YouTube channel. I have put there the YouTube channel for Power Monday. Yes, till number has been put there by Dr. Melvin, sent to Million, and the details there. Yeah. So any other question? I'm not seeing question yet. Good. So I think that is fine. If somebody has a question, we'll get it. Please share your contact. Yes, that is Shiro Mugithi is asking for your contact. We can have the person passing a vote of thanks. I don't know who that is. Noel. Dr.
So,
Dr. Noel, not Dr. Noel, Dr. Eda has a question. Dr. Eda, you can ask that question. I think that is the only question we will have. Dr. Eda?
Before she asks, immediately after Dr. Eda, then Dr. Melvin is going to give a vote of thanks.
Okay, great. Thank you. Dr. Eda, you are allowed to unmute. Try to unmute. You are allowed.
Okay, I've been trying to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. And my question is about, okay, you know that the World Economic Forum has recently met, and this is going to really bode very badly for many people who accept to be under the digital ID. So I was asking, there's going to be top-down authoritarian control, and so people are being advised to move away from completely refuse digital ID identities, because they can actually just decide to wipe out your bank account or freeze it so that you can't access according to how you post on social media, whether you're socially acceptable to them. So they talked about something called Web3 being the next generation of the internet. Focused on taking back. Yeah, I'm saying how to escape from the the other Bitcoins and the Web3s. These are alternative ways of dealing with money that escapes decentralization of money, blockchain technology, how we can escape the totalitarian control of the digital ID. First of all, none of us should accept the digital ID. So how we can escape that totalitarian control, other ways of using our money. Like I've heard of Web3.
I think we got you, because we need to also move on. It's yeah. So maybe Larry will be able to comment.
Yeah. So it's important that we be like the Bereans and go ahead and read more. There are genuine concerns, but not everything you said respectfully may be considered true by many spheres. Digital ID isn't itself inherently authoritarian, and there are a couple of people who are using digital IDs well. However, there are concerns about control, surveillance, how a system is designed, and how it is governed. It's not in the interest of the World Economic Forum to control you. They talk about digital identity frameworks. They talk about risks. They encourage ethical design, but it doesn't have the power to enforce them. A lot of these things now come back to the local governments and how they will do it. So it all depends. I would encourage everybody to read more about, and the internet is full of such. It's important to read more. There are things that we may not fight. We just have ways to manage them. So in a nutshell, digital ID is not technically authoritarian. And I know the World Economic Forum doesn't have plans to steal information and whatnot. But any information that you share can be misused by governments and so on. So I would just urge caution. I would also urge Paul Peter to look at a similar topic that would give us more time to talk about these. For the many friends I see here, this Power Monday takes place every Monday from 7:15 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. It's a place many of us call home, and you can follow it. So I'm sorry, Ed, I think I've not maybe responded effectively. I would just urge caution. I would ask more knowledge, and I would encourage us to be keen to ask questions to ensure that that this is done well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's have Dr. Melvin pass a vote of thanks. I know your time is running up. Senior guy. Right. Yes, Dr. Melvin.
Yeah, I would like, on behalf of Power Monday, to thank, first of all the participants who attended today. I think we were nearly 200 of us, and this is a testament to the power of Power Monday and to the quality of our speaker today. Secondly, I want to thank the team behind Power Monday for putting this together week after week, relentlessly, and very efficiently and effectively. Then I wish to thank our guest speaker today, Larry Liza, who has broken down the topic so well through his lived experience and through his book, which is now on sale at a special price of 1,200. And he's generously given us an opportunity to attend the event on, is it Saturday, at St. Andrew's Church. Thank you so much, Larry. We are proud to be associated with you, and we know that this is not the last time that you'll be coming to speak to us. Finally, I want to thank the sponsors of this particular event, which is Live Your Dream, Gurus, and Falcon Insights Global Consulting Limited. Thank you very much, and back to you, OPP.
Thank you very much, Dr. Melvin. Yes, and the team behind Power Monday includes Dr. Melvin, Noel, Antonia, Odhiambulale, and yours truly, Otieno Paul Peter. You can always find Otieno Paul Peter online. Recently, I also joined TikTok, and I share some few insights here and there. I'm on LinkedIn and different other places, but otienopaulpeter.com is my personal website. Do we have Antonia? You can say, can give some announcements, Antonia?